Okay, let's get to it. So, here recently, I've been dealing with customers who are going into the home buying process who are really stumped, and people have been asking me a lot of questions on where should they start. So, I just wanted to take the time to do a quick tutorial on how people should prepare to buy a house, purchase their first home. All right, so the first thing that I always give people who are potentially buying homes information on is understand and know your credit score. So when you're going in the home buying process, people should check, know, understand, and work towards improving their credit. What's going to happen is the higher your credit score is, the easier it makes it for you to qualify for a home loan. And so, also, the higher your credit score is, the lower the interest rate that you're going to get, that you're going to qualify for when you are getting a loan from, you know, a bank or a lender. Let's just put it like that. So, it's important that you start with that credit because most people don't know, but I always suggest having at least a 650, 640, 650 as a good starting point to like actually go into home purchasing. But you do have some programs to where you can kind of start off at a 580 all the way to a 620 credit score. But once again, low credit scores, those are relatively low credit scores. Low credit scores like that will get you higher interest rates. So you want to understand the credit scores. You want to just basically get information, know, okay, know your credit score, track your credit score. And for those of you who don't understand credit, your credit score is a point system that tracks your history of paying off past debts, such as credit cards, student loans, and other lines of credit. Um, Student loans are important, man. If you have those, make sure that you're paying them. There are three different credit bureaus. So in that, and I'll make a video discussing or putting out more information about credit scores. But um, your credit score can be different according to each of the three different credit bureaus that are used. But I'll go more into detail at a later time. All right, so going in there, a good thing that you can do is consult a lender. Like I have lenders that I work with. I have lenders that I work with that give my customers information. But if you're really researching and taking the time to get ahead of the process, you should consult a lender. Consulting a lender makes the process easier for you and as well as the agent. The lender will tell you how much money you qualify, so it'll give you a budget of what you can spend. And basically, if your credit score, going back to the last one, credit score, if your credit score isn't where it should be, the lender can give you next steps. After you consult that lender, man, also talk to the lender about the documentation that's needed. This is a very important one because this is where the process gets tedious once you actually start purchasing a home. But get your documentation together. Start to organize your financial and legal documents that may be needed. Um, you're going to need W 2s, bank statements, check stubs. If you're an entrepreneur, you may need up to 2 years of your tax returns. If you are an entrepreneur, some information that I've been given from lenders that I've been talking to and financial advisors is that if you are thinking about purchasing a home a year or two before you purchase that home, you may want to minimize the deductions because the deductions that you take actually makes it seem like you make less money. So that's a little financial advice that they give. So, but it's very important to like get your documentation together. Um, that's something that you can ask that lender about. They'll tell you some of the documentation that's needed, and they're very specific about that, and they give details. All right. One of the things that's very, very important when you just start thinking about purchasing a home is start saving, man. Start saving up money. Um, be more conscious, be more strategic about what you're buying, what you're spending your money on, and be conscious and strategic about making sure that you have money in the savings because you're going to have to deal with different things as far as having to just make payments going into this whole process. So you have to be mindful that you might have to put down money as far as earnest money. You might have to put down money as far as a down payment, and you just have to be mindful of like the closing costs. So a lot of people, when speaking with them and they're thinking about going into this process, they want to know, well, how much money should I have saved? It's different. And it's hard to answer that because it all depends on how much house you're trying to buy. But the more money you have in the savings, the better you're going to be. And oftentimes, when you're going into purchasing a home, right, the banks may ask for 5% down, 3 to 5%. So if you know you are purchasing a 20,000, well, I'm sorry, a $200,000 house, you may want to have $8 to $12,000 in the savings. But that's not an exact number. It's just saying, hey, if I know that I'm going to purchase anything over 200,000, I suggest getting to 8,000 in a saving. But once again, that always goes back to um, knowing who your lender is, consulting your lender, asking them these money questions. All right, another good thing to do is investigate down payment assistance. So you want to explore a down payment assistance program in your area. Down payment assistance programs are programs that could basically eliminate your down payment, or just it may even like assist you or ensure that you only have to make a portion of the down payment. Most new home buyers are expected to have 5%. People that have purchased homes before may be expected to have 20% of the money as far as down payment, but there are programs that help, people with down payment assistance. Most of those programs are tailored to the region, so it's based on the state and the city and the county in which you live. And these are things that your realtor can help you with, but if they don't know, it's always important that you do your research also so you don't miss out on anything. Another thing that's important is know how much money you want to spend. Like, know how much money that you want to spend. Um, know what you can afford as far as going into a mortgage payment and all of that. So, once again, it's really important that we are strategic when dealing with our personal finances, and we become educated in the area of personal finances and just understanding how money works, and some of the different things that you can do to actually make this process a little bit smoother. Another thing, some advice that I like to give my people is do research on potential neighborhoods, locations you want to live in. So visit a variety of neighborhoods in your city. Ask people about different builders. Pay attention to the builders. Pay attention to, you know, what they do to the house. The outside of the house, if you actually go and speak with a builder, look at some of the things that are offered. But when I'm saying do the research, to me, what's important is the neighborhood. And how does the neighborhood connect to you, who you are, and who your family is? So it's important that, like, people get caught up in the house and how the house is going to look, and you know what's available inside of the house, but actually where you put the house is very important. Knowing and understanding the schools in the neighborhood, how the schools in the neighborhood are rated. If diversity is important to you, are you in a diverse neighborhood? Like, things that are important to you and your family, things that you want to expose your kids to and have your kids around. These are things that you need to know. You need to investigate the neighborhood. Ask people in the city, if you aren't from the city. Ask people that you know. Ask around. You also can find the report cards on the school. In Texas, we have TA. TA has a website to where basically they grade schools, and you can get a lot of the information on the schools and everything like that. One of the last things that I'm going to give people information to is be very wise and choose your agent wisely. What I'm finding is that in this line of work, people give recommendations, but it's important that you sit down and speak with the agent. Um, Make sure that you're comfortable with the agent. Make sure that your agent makes you comfortable. Also, tell your agent your expectations. What are your communication expectations? Like, how often do you want to hear from your agent? Do you want to hear from your agent weekly, 2 or 3 times a week? Just so that there aren't any communication gaps. Yeah, that's very important. So just going into this, these are my tips on, like, actually going into the home buying process. If you guys have any other tips or pointers, please leave them in the comments below. Please like and share the video. Have a blessed day.